I have prepared a special kind of time-lapse for you to watch. This graph shows the mean global GDP of all time-lapses with the same AI. Orange is. On the left hand side is Vanilla 2, on the right hand side is Smarter AI 5. Hello fellow data friends. Are you hoping for better economic AI to make your game harder? Or do you want some equal trade partners in the late game? And you might turn to AI mods to improve your game experience. But how good are these? You may have seen a time-lapse with an AI mod, but that is a sample size of 1. Would you trust a medical study with just 1 patient? That is why I ran 15 time-lapses. 5 vanilla time-lapses. We need a benchmark to compare the performance to. 5 time-lapses with Kuromi's AI mod in version 2.7, which was uploaded at the 29th of July. 5 time-lapses with the Smarter AI mod last updated the 2nd of August. There may be newer versions available right now, but I have to set a deadline for collecting data at some point. I also looked at some other mods. Many AI mods are outdated and discontinued after 1.7. I tried the old anbeeld mod and was able to start the game, but it destroyed the performance even in 1836. The laaxus revisions mod just crashed to desktop, so I didn't use either of those. There was also an interesting looking mod of Asian origins which aims to recreate a more historical development. But judging from the description, this is way more than just an AI mod. Give it a try if you're interested, but this seems out of scope for just getting a better AI. That's why I limited myself to Vanilla, Kuromi's AI and Smarter AI. I have prepared a special kind of time-lapse for you to watch. This time-lapse is a bar chart race with a global GDP for every time-lapse. Global GDP is less affected by wars and conquering nations than comparing the GDP of specific countries. During the race, we might also see if a mod is especially good during a certain time frame, and I hope it will be fun to watch. After the bar chart race, I will discuss the results on an aggregated level for the year 1940. I will also show and compare the state of the worlds in 1940, but probably not for all 15 time lapses. Enjoy! And here we have the final global GDP values for all 50 timelapses in the year 1940, and there is a clear pattern. Kuromi's AI is at the top, Vanilla's in the middle, and Smarter AI is at the bottom. There's also quite some variance between timelapses with the same AI. Especially Vanilla 5's GDP is almost 800 million higher than the GDP of Vanilla 3. But in case you didn't watch the timelapse, the results are not as clear-cut as it looks right now. This graph shows the mean global GDP of all timelapses with the same AI. Orange is Kuromi, green is Smarter AI, and blue is Vanilla. Smarter AI starts strongly and is leading until about 1895. Then Kuromi takes the lead. Smarter AI is still better than Vanilla until about 1922. If you don't want to play until the end date, because you just want to achieve a certain goal, or your computer is catching fire after 1900, then Smarter AI is a decent choice. On the other hand, Kuromi's AI is a clear upgrade from Vanilla and always a good choice if you want an improved economic AI. I looked through all 15 timelapses and gathered some more aggregated data, which we will use to compare the mods in 1940. At first, the mean global GDP values for all timelapses and the mean global population. There is a clear correlation. It is my impression that the Smarter AI is more aggressive, and maybe that's the reason why there's less GDP and less people in the end. Let's have a look at the major European unifications. I just checked if a specific nation is alive in 1940. Both in Vanilla and Kuromi's AI, you will see some form of German or Italian unification in about every second game you play. As you see, Smarter AI is worse at the major unifications. But in Smarter AI, the great powers are encouraged to carve up the world. This makes them deviate more from Vanilla AI and might interfere with the major unifications. There was also a big difference in the colonization in Africa. Vanilla and Kuromi usually colonized everything apart from the occasional minor pocket. But in Smarter AI, large parts of South and Central Africa were still uncolonized. Especially in Vanilla, China was rather stable. They remained united for all 5 games. They tend to explode more in Smarter AI. The stability of the United States of America was similar for all AIs. And I noticed another big difference. The AI and smarter AI does not like power blocks. At least in 1940, there were usually only 2 or 3 power blocks remaining, often Great Britain and Russia. Vanilla and Kuromi had about 8 or 9 power blocks each game. So much for the aggregated statistics. Let's have a closer look at some time lapses. I will not go through all of them. There will always be some differences. I just want to give an impression of what you can expect and not discuss time lapses for half an hour. On the left hand side is Vanilla 5, on the right hand side is Kuromi 5. I have chosen these somewhat randomly. While there are some unification differences, if I hadn't told you that the right hand side is modded, would you have noticed? As far as I know, that is also the aim of Kuromi's AI mod. Improve the AI, but stay faithful to the vanilla idea. I think this is true for the rest of the world as well. I also checked the power blocks. Looks close enough, I think. Now, time for smarter AI. On the left hand side is Vanilla 2. On the right hand side is smarter AI 5. In smarter AI, the United States conquered quite a bit of land in Europe, and Greenland belongs to Prussia. In Africa, there was barely any colonization, but we got this beautiful Zanzibar. But this uncolonized Africa might be the reason for the lower global GDP in the late game by smarter AI. The African resources are missing on the global market. The other time lapses look the same. The European powers lost mostly all of the Asian colonies. North America looks kinda normal, but Brazil and Peru-Bolivia are conquering the other South American nations. Russia was usually doing fine with a big power block, but there are only 2 other power blocks, and the West European powers had barely any colonial empires. Though it's strange that there are so few power blocks with smarter AI. Time to sum everything up. Kuromi's AI mod is essentially Vanilla Plus. You get a vanilla experience with an overall better economic AI. Smarter AI looks more like a battle royale, and you get a very strong economic AI in the early to mid game, but it gets a lot weaker after 1900. Depending on your preferences, both can be a valid choice. Which one would you prefer though? If you're interested in watching detailed Krakow gameplay, click at the top video. Thanks a lot for watching, please consider liking and subscribing.